Senator Hyde-Smith.
Thank you, Chair Baldwin and Ranking Member Hoven, and I certainly appreciate our guests being here today and have enjoyed working with you in the past and look forward to continue to working with you. As you mentioned, Mr. Secretary, we have had tremendous flooding in Mississippi last week, in northern Mississippi, and in some areas we got 20 inches of rain in a 24-hour period. Beautiful crops that have just been destroyed that were very, very promising to a lot of Mississippi farmers. And we had rivers and creeks and streams, of course, that exceeded their banks. We had dams that gave way. We had levees that were breached. It was very unusual for Mississippi, but we had 2 rural water associations had to issue boil water notices. And of course, Mississippi State Extension Service is still evaluating the damages, as it's going to take a while to do that, but we can tell you it is tremendous. And my phone obviously has been blowing up with people saying, when can we get assistance for this? They're just panicking right now because it's hundreds of thousands of acres of prime cropland that's either got to be replanted or it's just going to simply go unplanted this year in some circumstances. But are you committed to ensuring that USDA will be a resource to Mississippi farmers and communities in recovering from last week's catastrophic flood in a timely manner?
Yes, given the resources that we have available. And I would say that there are some programs, frankly, where there is a little bit of money, just a small amount of money left that's unobligated, which I think points out a larger set of issues with reference to our programs to help during difficulties. But yes, we will do what we can, both through FSA, disaster loan assistance, through NRCS with the EWP and debris removal, and certainly RD can be very helpful to communities that are dealing with wastewater challenges or community facilities that have been destroyed.
Thank you very much for that commitment, because we have some eager and nervous farmers and bankers. But there are a number of USDA programs across various agencies that really do help rural communities and individuals to better respond and better prepare to overcome the natural disasters like the excessive flood that we've just talked about. But programs such as Rural Development Community Facilities grants for better emergency shelters, and Rural Development Water and Waste Disposal loans and grants for rural water system upgrades, and NRCS Emergency Watershed Protection program to address the debris removal, the repairs to roads, culverts, and bridges, and the FSA loan for losses to crops, trees, livestock, and farmland. We're all familiar with a lot of those programs that have been extremely helpful. But would you just elaborate on some existing USDA programs where funding might be available today that we can give information to these farmers that could provide some short-term relief right now?
Well, the programs that may potentially provide that short-term relief have very little money left unobligated, and that's the challenge. It's only $1.8 million in one of the programs I'm thinking about right now that's unobligated, and that's the challenge, Senator. You've listed the programs that we have that would be available. Obviously, it takes some time to get through a community facility application process, although we'll do whatever we can to try to move that process as quickly as we can. I think your question, and I wish I had a better answer, but I do think it's a question that this committee needs to ask in a larger context. With a changing climate, we're seeing natural disasters that have greater consequences than ones we've been used to, where perhaps a program might have been easily available. The drought circumstance, for example, we used to deal with droughts that lasted for several months, maybe a year, but now we're dealing with droughts that are lasting multiple years. And I think we need to really think about the structure of our programs and the flexibility of our programs to be able to respond. I wish I had a better answer. I will tell you, we will challenge our staff to take a look and scour our programs, and we will get back to you with whatever we think is feasible and possible for as a quick relief as we can provide. But unfortunately, some of these programs have been utilized already during this year, and there's very little money left.
Thank you. That would be most helpful. And I think I'm out of time for my other question. Thank you so much.